through the vacant point region before more. King had no chance at cover. Colin Croft, 10 no balls to his name. Bowling to Hadley. Short. Going for the hook. Loud appeal for caught behind. That went close to the glove. Derek Murray, not very happy. Thrown in short by Croft, looking to hook Hadley, angling in towards him. The left-hander. And the West Indies going up for the caught behind. Colin Croft not at all happy. This is what all the controversy's been about, similar incidents. And umpire Fred Goodall, unmoved. Umpire Fred Goodall we see moving down the wicket. Croft saying something to Goodall, and this has prompted some action. Steve Woodward, the other umpire, coming from square leg. No doubt Goodall and Woodward will have a word with Captain Clive Lloyd. We can only speculate at what's going on out there, but I imagine that following that loud appeal from the West Indians, Colin Croft was noticeably upset. He had a word or two to Fred Goodall, and this has prompted Goodall to go down and speak to Clive Lloyd. Croft to Hadley. No ball called, wide down the leg side. Croft's 11th no ball. New Zealand move on to 325. Things getting a little heated here. Colin Croft baiting umpire Fred Goodall, and the crowd responding with a little abuse for Colin Croft. Croft. Well, he hit umpire Fred Goodall on his run-up. He ran deliberately close to umpire Goodall, struck him on the way through, and we see Fred Goodall moving down to Clive Lloyd. That was a deliberate case. Colin Croft moving in to bowl to Richard Hadley after we'd seen Richard Hadley talking to Croft. He ran very close to Fred Goodall and in fact struck him on his way through to bowl. A deliberate action, obviously, and this has prompted Fred Goodall to move down to skipper Clive Lloyd.
During that match, the relationship with me and the West Indies team deteriorated. They would not talk to me, they wouldn't accept my decisions, and certain comments were made. It was quite interesting, really, some of the comments. It happened to be my 50th first-class match, and they'd read the local newspaper and made one or two comments, references to that. And after I called Colin for a no ball and turned down the court behind, that was too much for him, so he came in and ran into me. But the ball immediately before that, when I had called him for a no ball, he flicked the bails off in front of me as a gesture of defiance, perhaps. Who knows? And after the incident, when I got hit, I walked down the pitch to Clive Lloyd, the captain, but he didn't really want to know about it.
Unfortunate incident. One can only wonder where we go from here. .338 for 6.
Croft to Hadley.
Short, hooked again.
Holding makes no effort at all. It's 4 more. Hadley 21, New Zealand 342 for 6 wickets.
Roberts to Hadley.
Short, pulled away off his face. That's a 6 into the number 4 stand. Richard Hadley is 98. New Zealand are 441 for 8 wickets.
Calichuran to Hadley.
Short, there it is. 4 runs to the backward point boundary. Richard Hadley, 103. New Zealand, 446 for 8 wickets.
I was able to have a couple of significant milestones in my career at Lancaster Park in Christchurch, my home ground, and my maiden Test 103 was against the West Indies in the second Test match. And in some ways, whilst it should have been a significant milestone, it was quite a hollow feeling about it because the West Indies just didn't want to play. And they were proposing to go on strike during the match. They delayed coming back from a tea break by about 20-30 minutes because they'd almost had their bags packed and just wanted to go home. They just didn't want to play, frustrated through the decision-making or lack of them by the umpires. And when they came out and I was still batting, they bowled off short runs and they just made it too easy. And when you get 100, you want to feel as though you've worked for it. And so I didn't feel as though it was too significant, although in the book it says 100, and I'll take it. But to me, it was gifted.